There is something in the universe that should not exist. It sits more than 10 billion light-years away, in a region of space so distant that the light reaching our telescopes left its source when the cosmos was still young. Its name is TON 618, and it did not just break records, it broke the rules. TON 618 is a black hole, but calling it that is like calling the ocean a puddle. It is estimated to contain the mass of 66 billion suns, not million, billion. That is more than every single star in our entire Milky Way galaxy combined. If you gathered all the light, all the mass, all the matter of every star you have ever seen in the night sky and crushed it together, you would still come up short. TON 618 would outweigh it all. It is 15,300 times heavier than Sagittarius A star, the supermassive black hole sitting at the center of our own galaxy. Sagittarius A star already warps the orbits of thousands of stars. TON 618 would consume it entirely, and still have room. But mass alone does not capture the horror. Its event horizon, the invisible boundary from which nothing, not even light, returns, stretches across 1,300 astronomical units. That is more than 40 times the distance from our Sun to Neptune. Imagine replacing our Sun with this black hole. Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, every planet, every moon, every asteroid would vanish inside the event horizon, and there would still be room. Enough room to fit our entire solar system inside it, 43 times over. A beam of light, traveling at 670 million miles per hour, would need weeks just to cross its shadow. So how does something like this come to exist? That is the question that haunts astrophysicists, because the math does not add up. Black holes grow by feeding. Gas, dust, entire stars spiral into the accretion disk and are pulled past the point of no return. But there is a speed limit to this process. It is called the Eddington limit, the point where the radiation produced by all that infalling matter pushes back so hard that it blows the incoming fuel away. The brighter the feast, the harder it becomes to keep eating. It is a built-in break. Every black hole in the universe obeys this law. Every black hole except this one. When we look at the light from TON 618, we are seeing it as it was 10.8 billion years ago. The universe was barely 3 billion years old at that moment, a cosmic infant. And somehow, in that impossibly short window, this black hole had already reached 66 billion solar masses. Standard models cannot explain it. A black hole born from a collapsing star, even a massive one, would need far longer than the age of the universe at that time to reach this size by feeding at the Eddington limit. The clock simply runs out. Scientists believe TON 618 may have been born differently, not from a dying star, but from the direct collapse of an enormous cloud of primordial gas in the early universe. A cloud so dense and so massive, it skipped the star phase entirely and fell straight into darkness. And then it fed, at rates 10 to 100 times beyond what the Eddington limit allows. The boundary did not hold. For billions of years, while galaxies were still forming their first generations of stars, TON 618 was already consuming everything around it. Gas clouds, stellar nurseries, perhaps even entire smaller galaxies pulled into its gravitational reach. It was building itself into something the universe had never produced before, an ultramassive black hole, a category that did not even exist in our textbooks until Objects like this forced us to invent it. And while it fed, it blazed. TON 618 is a quasar, a black hole so violent in its consumption that the friction of infalling gas, spiraling at over 23 million miles per hour, heats the accretion disk to millions of degrees. The result is a beacon of pure energy, 140 trillion times brighter than our sun, so bright that it completely drowns out its own galaxy. We cannot see the billions of stars orbiting around it. We see only the blinding glare of the black hole at the center, wrapped in an enormous cloud of glowing hydrogen gas stretching over 330,000 light-years across, twice the diameter of the Milky Way. Think about that. The glow surrounding this single object is larger than our entire galaxy. This is not a star. This is not a nebula. This is the exhaust of a feeding engine so powerful it warps the space around it for hundreds of thousands of light-years in every direction. If you could somehow stand 1,000 light-years from TON 618 and look toward it, the sky would not be dark. There would be no stars. Imagine only a wall of ultraviolet fire filling your entire field of vision. Radiation so intense it would strip the atmosphere off any planet in its path. You would not feel the warmth. You would not see the flash. At that distance, every molecule in your body would already be gone before a single nerve could fire. But here is the part that changes everything. The light we see from TON 618 is 10.8 billion years old. We are not looking at what it is. We are looking at what it was. A photograph from the ancient universe. A memory written in light. And light does not update itself. It carries only the moment it was born. Everything we know about TON 618 is a portrait from the deep past, and nothing more. In the billions of years since that light departed, TON 618 has continued to exist. But quasars do not burn forever. They run out of fuel. The gas around them thins. The accretion disk slowly starves. The blinding glow that made TON 618 visible across the observable universe fades, flickers, and then goes dark. What remains is the black hole itself. Still 66 billion solar masses, perhaps far more by now, still stretching across a region larger than our solar system, but wrapped in absolute silence. No light, no radiation, no signal of any kind, just gravity, bending space in the dark. What remains when there is nothing left to consume? Right now, at this very moment, TON 618 is almost certainly no longer a quasar. It has gone quiet. It sits somewhere in the deep universe, invisible, undetectable, and silent. The brightest object we ever found has likely become one of the darkest. We are staring at a ghost, the afterimage of a monster that vanished into the dark billions of years before our planet even formed. And somewhere out there, in a corner of the cosmos we cannot see and will never reach, it is still warping space-time, still pulling, still growing. An invisible colossus, silent and immeasurable, doing something we have no way of knowing. And the most unsettling part is not that it exists. It is that we will never know what it has become.